8. It's quite a long intro today because it's a very important topic and I really want to set the tone. So today is all about this beautiful thing called wellness, medical wellness here in Bali. So we're talking about health tourism, we're talking about wellness tourism, and of course medical tourism. Today we have a wonderful friend and another fellow with a great haircut as well. So Dr. Patra, I'll introduce him in a moment, and he's the chairman of Bali Medical Tourism Association. Woo. Obviously, this episode is brought to you by Health Hub Bali. So I'm just going to read a little bit here, and then we'll get on to show afterwards. So, Dr. Gede Patra, piloting here Indonesia's latest medical wellness program with the principles: every patient's right to be informed, the patient's right to choose, and the patient's right for a second opinion. Now, going straight for the introduction here, with the support of recent government initiatives, Bali steps up on the global stage of the wellness tourism trend that Indonesia has coined the phrase medical wellness, which we'll get into in a moment. This fits the demand for healthier outcomes and science-backed protocols, whether it's for disease issues or biohacking hype for health and vitality seekers. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to hear from Dr. Gede Patra of Bali Medical Tourism Association. Now, as I mentioned before, tonight's show has been brought to you by Health Hub Bali. Now, Health Hub Bali, I'll say a few words about Health Hub Bali, just so you're in the loop. Is Bali's first integrated health hospital. It's a joint venture with Dharma Usada City RS. It's a hospital which also is a base camp for Bali Medical Tourism, the Bali Medical Tourism Network, headed by Dr. Gede Patra, piloting here Indonesia's latest medical wellness program. And just before I go forward, just want to quickly say, is it here? Yes, it is. Wonderful. All right. So what we're going to be talking about tonight, there's a few takeaways. So one, which I've mentioned before, is about a latest government decision that's been made, which is one of the first in the world, I believe, which Dr. Patra will slowly or surely in a moment disclose. Second point is, why they strengthen each other. And we're talking now about medical and science. The third one is, what is the medical doctor's focus to build the trust? And the fourth one is, what do patients need now? So in this audience today, we have people from all over the world, which is one of the things which we love about Bali. It really does find a way to bring in literally, I think half the world is in Bali. Yeah. But look, just to start us off, Dr. Patra, so there's been a very important announcement recently which really does set Indonesia and Bali in particular far ahead, I believe. Could you take some time to go in and to explain a little bit about what that particular decision was and the fall down effects of it for Bali and Indonesia at large?
Okay, Robert, thank you very much. Hi, everybody. So nice to meet you again, because this is maybe the fourth time I'm in SpeakuP Monday. So we are talking about would like that special in the two group, medical tourism and medical wellness, will be start to promote, because we have the program, we have already to prepare the program, and then now we would like to promote the program. Yeah. And we are in Bali special for the medical wellness. We try to make an integration between the medical conventional wellness program and Balinese traditional medicine. Yeah, including the herb, because Bali have a herb for the this program. Yeah, and I'm as a chairman of the Bali Medical Tourism Association. We have members. For the medical tourism, we have 14 hospital. 6 is government hospital, and 8 is a private hospital. And every hospital has already have a center of excellence. For example, Ngurah Hospital, they have for the cardiac center. Bali Royal Hospital, maybe for the in vitro fertilization. BMC Nusa Dua about the cosmetic surgery. Dental 911 for dental, and etc. And for medical wellness, until now, we have already started from the 23 hospital, clinic, including the resort. Because for the medical wellness, we don't do all of the program in the hospital. We only do in the hospital maybe for the to meet the doctors, and then maybe laboratory, radiology, and etc. The other we do in the resort or the health and the tourism facility, including the wellness center. Yeah, because we know that now there are many wellness centers, spa, and etc. So for the program, our facility is not only in the hospital, including in the resort, in the villa, but the team will be coming to the tourism facility for them. And this is, we use the like a medical concept. So if someone asks to me, how about maybe, for example, for meditation, how they will be influenced for the psychological, mental health, etc. So we use that. There is a medical logical to explain for the customer, like that. So, and after that, we are I myself with Tracy LH Bali, we start to make one concept. We call that integrated health hospital. So we make joint venture with the owner of the hospital in Denpasar, and in this hospital, before maybe the concept of the hospital, the sick people coming to the hospital. But we are now, there are 2 target group, the sick people and the health people. But the health people, they would like to have like what is a healthy lifestyle. So in the medical wellness, we are using the like learning the people to find how the condition of the people, and using not only, once again, not medicine, but we are using the education, we are using the nutrition, exercise, including the spiritual aspect. So this is the condition now. We start that. Before I'm talking about the concept, but we are now start to implement it, because my principle is about to learn about the health tourism is learning by doing. So this is I did.
One of the goals is the mic on? Yeah. Thank you, brother. So one of the things that we really enjoy whenever Dr. Patra comes on the show is so calm, right? And very clear to understand. So for those of you here, just a quick, I know there's a few new ones in the audience. So if you've been in Bali for less than a year, just raise your hand. Okay, you're not sure. Okay, if you've been in Bali for more than a year, raise your hand. Great. More than 10 years, keep your hand up. Okay, cool. So that gives us a good idea. So the way that things work here in Indonesia, as a lot of people know but maybe don't know, is you have central government in Jakarta, you have regional government, then you have local government. So the power of what Dr. Patra has just shared is that this is central government and regional and local all working together, collaborating to create something which has never been done. So it's a huge thing. That's number one. I really want you to kind of get in your mind. Another thing, which is super powerful, is, he mentioned about the hospital, Dharma Hospital. Yeah, thank you, about Usada City in Denpasar. So this is an integrative hospital, right? So this is where, as foreigners and locals, you can get tested as you can anywhere in Indonesia and Bali with solid scientific baselines. And then after that, you can then decide whether, once you know what you have, then you have a health journey, your own personalized health journey, because everyone is different, right? Yes. Everyone is unique. So here at that hospital, then those health journeys can be created and can be basically exercised in those hospitals, in that hospital, whether you decide to go Eastern or Western, which I think is another very powerful point to get. Another point to get before I move on. Actually, this understanding that you have, Dr. Patra, which I'd love you to share with everybody, about medical being art and science combined. I would love to hear, and I'm sure we'd all love to hear a little bit more about what do you mean by that?
Yes. So, now the people said that medical is science and arts, because we meet with the people. The people have the problem. We are not using like a machine and a robotic and etc. But still need the people, human touch like that. So we call this is the arts is how to make a good communication with the people. This is the arts, because we have a time and we must give a treatment for the people. So this is like the medical doctor must have the skill for the communication, effective communication, and about the empathy. This is important because the people, when they have a problem in the health sector, they will have panics or something in the mental health. So the doctor can make the people is still the emotional is not so panics and etc. like that. So this is, we call that the arts. The other side, that we are using the equipment or the like a laboratory test. You know that there are many laboratory tests. How we have to choose according with the sign and the symptoms of the patient, which are the examination we must do for that. So this is, we call that the arts of the medical. And the science, when I have already to say that the disease is maybe cancer, so there is a protocol, the fixed protocol for this, because must be based on the science. For example, for the cancer, we know that the treatment is about the chemotherapy, radiation, or we are using the operation and etc. like that. So this is, we call that the science based on the research and development. So this is, we call that arts and science. Arts, it's depend on the personalized of the patient, how the doctor can make a good communication, and then empathy, and to look the people not only in the one aspect but the holistic. So this is what I mean, that this is the arts and the science like that.
Going a bit deeper into that one, so people here are aware, that there's a special economic zone set up for medical tourism. I think there's two, right? So there's Sanur, where you have the international hospital, but there's also Kura, where you have a special economic zone for medical tourism, and I think creative economy or something. I think there's three there. But for people here, and we spoke about this before, so I think this is going back now to the last president and the last tourism minister being President Jokowi, Sandiaga Uno being the tourism minister, where the realization was that millions, maybe billions of dollars were leaving Indonesia each year because there wasn't the faith or the trust in the medical system to facilitate certain operations. So people would fly off overseas if they were in trouble.
Yeah.
And then as a result of that, I think then Sandiaga Uno and President Jokowi came up with this idea of building a special economic zone. Mm-hmm. And within that, having obviously some great leverage points for foreign doctors to basically travel and practice within those special economic zones, as they're not allowed to practice outside of them at this point in time. But if you could give a bit of background into two things. One, what the advantage is of the special economic zone for medical tourism, and then two, how the standard of care is being basically equalized. So whether you go to the special economic zone for whatever you have, or whether it's outside, that this art and science that you've discussed is both. It's equalized. If you could explain a little bit about those two things, it would be great.
Yes. Okay. So the government make like a special economic zone. In Bali, there are two places. One in Sanur, one in Kura-Kura. Yeah, but it's already running in Sanur. There is a hotel. There is a hospital. Yeah, it will be running for the clinic from the outside. The branded will be open the facility in special economic zone in Sanur. And there is a special regulation for that. For example, in this space, the branded may be, for example, I have attended the building of the Ulster Clinic from America will be open there, and they are using the standard from America coming to Bali. Yeah. Before, if there is a standard from the outside, they must be make a condition in Indonesia first. Yeah. For example, the doctor finish in Australia, they must be have followed the like what is the consolidation states in Indonesia before they have a license. But in special economic zone in Sanur, they can directly to have a license for that. So the government would like to maybe to increase the quality of the services by give opportunity the branded coming to Bali. But this is only for the special economic zone in Sanur. But I myself, as the chairman of the Bali Medical Tourism Association, would like not only in Sanur. I hope that whole of Bali, the branded or the standard from the outside can be implemented in Bali. This is like my experience before, after the COVID, when the Bali start to receive the people from the outside. We call that open border Bali. So before, it's only choose 20 hotels as the quarantine hotel. But after that, the government choose the zone of the hotel, of the area, like Nusa Dua, Jimbaran, Kuta, Sanur, and Ubud. And then after that, whole of the Bali, the hotel can receive the quarantine program. So this is why we are now to support the special economic zone. If they have a good that the concept is good, maybe I hope that whole of Bali can be running for that. Yeah. And then the second is there is, if in Indonesia we have a F&D like in America, we call that balai pom. The medicine, the nutrition from the outside must be have register from the Balai POM. In economic zone, they can prepare for all of the medicine in the all world that the patient, the people need. They can prepare that. Yeah. And the third about the specialist doctor, they can directly have license there. And the third is about the tax incentive. But once again, if we're comparing with the maybe Malaysia and Thailand, because in Indonesia still the tax for the health sector is still my problem. Because if the like medicine or equipment, medical equipment coming from the outside, they have tax. From the distributor to hospital, they have tax. And from the hospital to patient, have tax. So 3 times have tax. So it's make that sometimes maybe the price or the tariff of the hospital is little bit higher than the other. So this is that in this space, the government start to give like an incentive for tax. Yeah, we are looking because this is maybe 6-month operation. Yeah, they have the Center of Excellence for Cardiology, Oncology. Cardiology, they make a relation with the Sapporo clinic in Japan. Oncology, they make a collaboration with the ICON in Singapore. Neurology, gastro, and orthopedic. Like that. Yeah.
Thank you. And I mean, so
one more. Yeah. About how the condition outside from the special economic zone. We are in Bali, as you know, that our hospital is not big hospital. Mostly, they have only 50 until 100 beds. But we have the human resource like a specialist doctor. It's good enough. So every hospital, we give instruction that you must make a space center of excellence like that. Yeah, even though they are a small hospital, but they have a center of excellence like that. Yeah.
Thank you. So there's a few things that came up in our very brief, very quick getting to know the audience. Because again, Speak Up Monday is in front of an audience, right? Every week you can join. There's no charge. There's no RSVP. Just show up at 6 o'clock. Tropical Nomad. So some of the things coming through where we had people that were doing ice baths, we had people that are doing stem cells. We have people which are looking to build wellness into their real estate, so there's this growth, massive growth that's worth, I don't remember the number, perhaps you do, but millions if not billions of dollars. This industry is evolving. It's huge. Okay, and obviously we know that Bali is a place where it has the time and space for people to take care of themselves. It has an energy, ley lines of energy, culture that all work together to create this unique space of transformation, healing, rejuvenation. Eat, Pray, Love, I guess, was all about that. But I guess what we're saying now is that, Eat, Pray, Love was about the wellness aspect, but Bali has come forward and it's integrated medical, wellness, and health tourism together to create a very unique integrated model of health, right? Okay, so looking at this whole biohacking arena that's evolved and keeps on evolving. So here in that system of care that we've discussed already, what do you see as, just answering some of the questions we had earlier on about the challenges that some of these clinics, which are maybe Westerners coming to Bali saying, hey, I want to open a clinic.
Yeah.
Right? What are the challenges to that? I know that Health Hub Bali has the answers, but I'd love you to comment on that so they get a greater idea of how it works.
Yes. Yeah. I looked at some of challenges that if the people from outside would like to open the health services in Bali. The first we are looking at about the regulation. Yeah. Sometimes it's the people heard about that it's okay, open from the outside. But in reality, the regulation is not complete, not enough. And the second about the human resource, because once again, the expert from the outside, the foreigners, would like to work in Indonesia or in Bali. There is a special regulation, but depend on the. It is the expert is already assisting in Bali for the local or not like that. Yeah. So this is sometimes make that it's already enough. There is a expert for this in Bali. Right? And the third is about the maybe the procedure or the system and etc. Yeah, this is the maybe the main advantage challenges that I look in Bali. But once again, I myself, in my experience, if we are waiting the regulation is complete and clear, sometimes needs the time. But I'm as a chairman of the Bali Medical Tourism Association, start to tell that we make a collaboration between the local and the expert. Yeah, this is. And the regulation maybe and some of the clinic or the hospital is already running for this. So for example, responsible for the patient is the local doctors because they have a license. But for the foreign doctor, they will be as a medical advisor. So to make a collaboration with the local doctors, or the local expert to give a services for the customer like this. And I think that it will can be used maybe more quick than if we with the regulation from the government. Because you know about the Indonesia, sometimes political issue sometimes influence the regulation like that. Yeah, so I think that, for example, I myself have already looking the wellness center in Bali, and we start to give suggestion. You make a collaboration with the local clinic, hospital, or the doctors, so you can run the program more safely. Yeah, like that.
You know, one of the things which I speak about a lot, but I know there's a few new people in the audience tonight, meaning new to Bali, is, you know, one of the things which I love about here is that the principles, you know, this, I call it like the DNA, right? What's the roots give you your fruits. If the roots are healthy, the tree, ideally with the right nutrients, will bear healthy fruit. So the roots in Indonesia are some of those principles, right? So we spoke before about Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, which is the motto of Indonesia, which is unity in diversity. Gotong Royong, which is, you know, the community coming together to solve a challenge faced by the community. Collaboration, which is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika in action. And then we talk about Bali with Tri Hitakarana, right, which we've spoken about before, this relationship of, you know, spirit, nature, and humans, you know. So those, I'm looking at my German brother over here, these are things you need to know, right? Because foreigners like me, my wife is Indonesian, but I'm a guest, yeah? We're not in Kansas anymore. For some will smile and know what I mean. Others will look at me and say, like, Kansas? This guy talking about we're in Bali. What it means is that, you know, when we come from wherever we're from, if I come from the UK, which I do, and I bring the same mentality of the UK to Bali, shame on me. It's not going to work. As is America, and so on and so on and so on. So Bali has its own unique culture, understanding, way of being, which those three things that I've just mentioned to you give you a big clue on how to navigate. So when Dr. Patra talks about collaboration between locals and expats, like it's the roots. You know, it's in the DNA, right? So I see a few people that come here and they're good friends of mine, some of them. I'm going to open this wellness center. We're going to have this, and this. I'm like, well, okay, who's going to work there? Oh, I've got a friend from the US. He's great. He's going to come over. It's like, and what license is he going to run off? Oh, we'll work it out. Work out what? Collaboration is huge. So just keep that in the mind. You can duplicate or collaborate. Please choose collaboration over duplication. So now the questions will come in about 5 minutes that you may have. But just before we get there, I just want to ask you this one, Dr. Patra. You know, what do patients need now? So when I ask you that, what comes up for you? What are you noticing and recognizing here?
Yes, we are looking now because the people is easy to get the information and etc. And they back looking the concept of health from the WHO. Health is mean not only they are looking the whole aspect about the physical, mentally, social and spiritual aspect. So this is the people, if before they may be difficult to find the information, but now they knows about that. And the second, the patient now about the rights of the patient. Three main the rights of the patient. One is about the information. It's not like before. Maybe if I meet with a doctor only ask me, there is a medicine you eat 3 times a day, like that. There is no discussion, there is no explanation, etc. But now the doctor must be give information about that. The second is the patient have rights to get or to have the second opinion. Yeah, if I myself as a doctor to meet with a patient, okay, this is my conclusion on etc. about your disease, but you have opportunity to get the second opinion. The second opinion before must be meet with the doctors directly, but now by using the telemedicine we can do for this. So the patient not going to the doctor, but we have already, if you would like to have the second opinion, we have relation with Dr. A and etc. or hospital like this and etc. And the third of the rights of the patient is they will be choose what in my like beliefness and etc. For example, for the cancer patient, now many people they don't want to use the medicine, they use the operation, they use the radiation and etc. So in my hospital we start that we are looking the rights of the patient, but we would like to support them. Even though they don't want, I would like to like using the herb and etc. But I will be support you to keep the quality of life. For example, the risk factor for the cancer patient is maybe the albumin will be decreased, the hemoglobin will be decreased and etc. So we will be support to give the albumin or give a blood for the patient like that. And I ask for them for the once again to treat the people not only looking in the one aspect. We are using the whole aspect, or we call that patient-centered care. So we are looking the mentally, we are looking the nutrition, we are looking for the exercise and etc. like that. So this is that. Now we are looking at the patient. They have already easy to find the information, so the doctor can not before. Maybe if the doctor don't have enough knowledge or information, they will be asked, you are a doctor or I'm as a doctor like this. So now it's the condition is changes. So we must be can give the good information for the patient and give chance to they will be choose what they would like to do.
Thank you. And look, just before we go to the questions, just to want to, it is a plug. Let's be straightforward about it, right? So Health Hub Bali, Tracy is not here tonight. She's been I think 10 years. Health Hub Bali has been going. She's originally from Australia, and I think about 5 years ago, I said, Tracy, we've got to do this Speak Up Monday, Health Hub Bali edition, the first Monday of every month. So this is episode, I think, 44. So if you go to the Speak Up Monday page on YouTube, you'll find a Health Hub Bali section there, and you'll see all of these Health Hub Bali specific Speak Up Mondays with some of the best national, local specialists, which, I mean, Health Hub Bali is a platform, right? It's a collaboration, right? And, you know, a health tourism initiative, which, I mean, as in the direct collaborative circle, Tracy, the founder, Dr. Patra Jaya, Gede Patra. Then there's, you know, someone like Anastasia that you've met already from Aspire, who looks after the business side of things. There's Daniele, who looks after, you know, how do you get equipment into Indonesia? Medical equipment, wellness equipment, and so on. It's not easy, right? So that's what Daniele does. I'm another one of these inner collaborative members. And for me, it's always been about how do we bring people together? You know, partnerships, collaboratives, that community interaction, you know, and each of us has got our own company or background in Indonesia. For example, mine, I'm also a co-founder of Bali Tourism and Investment Chamber, which is the first time foreign investors in Bali, perhaps even Indonesia at large, have a say and collaborate with central, regional and local government to create clarity for foreign investment and be aware of where we are in Bali, the cultural sophistication of Bali, and to create that. I spoke before about the roots and the fruits. Let's create some good roots so we have some great fruits, right? Collaboratively. Speaker, author, our work, PT Career Life Group has been endorsed by the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, Forbes Business Council, Founder Institute, and we're #1 change maker in Bali. But we spoke before about, you know, this hospital. So as I mentioned before about HHB's Health Hub Bali, current project is Bali's first integrated hospital, a joint venture with Dharma Usada Siddhi RS Hospital, which is in Denpasar. Also a base camp for Bali Medical Tourism Association Network, headed by our brother, Dr. Gede Patra. And again, piloting here in Indonesia, the latest medical wellness program with the following principles. Every patient has a right to be informed, the patient's right to choose, and the patient's right for a second opinion. So just keep these things in mind, and there's some little sheets over here with the number for Health Hub Bali. If you're looking at creating an initiative, if you're looking at creating a wellness center, how does it work with foreign doctors? You know, how do we get equipment into the country? Ice baths, you name it, right? So Health Hub Bali is on hand to facilitate that, working with central government, regional and local, and also with practitioners, patients and hospitals. So very powerful platform. And if you need any questions, feel free to reach out. Now, questions. So just to give us a bit of understanding so we get the most value, because it's valuable, people, right? So raise your hand first. Microphone will come to you. You know how to speak on the microphone now. And it is fine to plug your company. Hi, my name is Rob. I'm from XYZ company. We do ABC. Then after that, if you can come to your question, that will be great, because then it gives us more time to hear more questions so we can present and respond with more value. All right. So feel free to raise your hands. Don't be shy, people. Otherwise, I have some more questions. Yes, over here. So Guzman, if we find the way to get the mic over there, that'll be great. Hey, Chris, welcome, brother. It's Chris, right? Oh, I can see the dark shadow.
So, sorry, I missed the beginning of it. I got the times wrong. But what you had just shared, two things really popped up for me, which was patience and government. And I've been in Bali for 8 years. And just to be completely honest, I have nothing but horror stories as it comes to hospitals and going to hospitals and treatment in hospitals. And then at the same time, I know that we've heard a lot of stories, especially recently with some of the riots around government. So as you look to expand and look at tourism, healthcare tourism, how do you address the current view of medical practices in Bali and the view of the sophistication or ability for the government to actually support that?
Okay, you got the question. Nice to start with one of the easy questions. Thanks, brother. No, but I know Chris really, really well. Respect, because at the end of the day, right, the question that he's asking is in other people's minds too. Right, and that's the beauty about having spaces like this, where you may not have the courage to ask a question, and that's okay. But if someone else does, it's a question that's there for people. So it's important that you ask. Over to you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. What I said before, that now our government, because looking that now the condition is changes, and we look that there are many local people, Indonesia people, going to outside to have services, like as you know that they are going to Malaysia, Thailand, and etc. like that. So now we start the government to make a regulation, but once again, because Indonesia there are many provinces, 34 provinces, and every province there is a specific condition. So they start to make like a model in Indonesia, and we are in Bali special that the hospital or the clinic in Bali must be focused into two focus. The first is to give services because the people is not only Balinese people. There are many tourists from the outside of Bali, so we must be prepared the services for the local and for the people from the outside. And the second is to create the health tourism in Bali. But once again, Bali, the owner of the hospital in Bali is not the investor, the big investor. This is mostly a group of the doctor makes a hospital like that. So sometimes, for example, if about the food, if the chef is already, they have like a good capability, sometimes they are thinking not to make a complete hospital. So why we push that you must be choose the center of excellence in every hospital, have to get there. Yeah. So once again, I hope that special economic zone, there is a new regulation for that, and I hope that in the future the hospital, the services in Bali, because the branded will be coming to Bali. So we are in Bali not learning to go to outside, but we can learning because the branded will become to Bali. So this is, I think that I hope that what is the condition now in Bali, it will be getting better. And yeah.
And look, just to share a personal thing, right? So this is not the view of Health of Bali or anyone else. It's my personal view. I've heard similar things too, Chris, right? And I've also heard other, right? So I had, I won't mention his name. It begins with a K, and many people know him, but I won't go any further than that. He had a bike accident. Very unusual in Bali to have one of those, right? And and it was his collarbone, clavicle. He did some big damage. And the first thing that he said is that I've got to go out. I've got to go to Singapore or somewhere else. And he called me and said, Rob, can you help? Right? I said, well, what did you do? And he told me what he did. Then I gave him two things. One is I gave him an understanding that maybe Dr. Patra might share a little bit later on, is that, there's, I think, 3 types of hospital in Bali. And I won't go into what they are, but put it like this. Oftentimes, it's not the hospital, it's the doctor and the specialist. So this one conversation which I had with him, he was then able to find the specialists who also practice in Singapore, but lives in Bali and practices in Bali. And guess what? He had the operation in Bali. He had the WhatsApp number of the surgeon who was doing the surgery on him. If I go to the UK, I'm from the UK, please, I love the UK, everybody, and I ask for the mobile phone number of the surgeon, I wouldn't get a favorable response. Let's put it like that. Whereas here, like, I can name 5 people which have had serious operations, and they all have had the number of the surgeon, and they've all been in communication, and they've had no problems. And they've actually, and then this particular fellow, he then took an X-ray before, MRI, before and after, to a specialist in Germany, because he's from Germany, and they said that work is perfect, nothing to do here. And so I hear some of the stories like you have heard of people which didn't have a great experience. More recently, what I've heard are these sorts of experiences where people wanted to go away, but then luckily they spoke to the right person, and I referred them to Tracy at Health Hub Bali. Sorry, Tracy. And then she's able, with the network which there is with Health Hub Bali, to basically, and obviously Dr. Patra is a big part of that, to basically be directed to the right surgeon in the right hospital at the right time. And that, to me, is critical. And obviously, what Dr. Patra is saying is that there's a huge responsibility for Bali as well, inside and outside of the special economic zone for medical tourism, to have a uniform standard where wherever you decide to go, you get the same treatment, level of care, and so on. But as I think he said as well, is that doesn't necessarily happen overnight either, and it takes time, So I guess at the end of the day, and again, I'm not talking for anyone but myself, is that all you can do is the best you can do, right? And just look to get better and better and better. But great question, mate. Yeah,
I want to just add, would you say the plan is to increase Bali or Indonesian doctors' capacities to deliver better service, or also integrate that with bringing in external? Because the word I always hear is like, let's make Bali Turkey, because Turkey is the place that everybody goes to get their surgeries. I think Thailand or Bangkok might be that for Asia, kind of. Yeah. So is the idea increase specialists and capacities that are Indonesian born, or integrating with external services?
Yeah, I think that's once again what is the government now start in special economic zone. They would like, because for Bali, I think that for the local people, the number of the doctor, medical doctor and specialist doctor is good enough. But the distribution is the problem. They much in Denpasar and Badung and etc. But in Karangasem, maybe the people, the doctor, there is a limited doctor want to go to Karangasem. And in special economic zone, they are open for the foreign doctor or the Indonesia doctor who learn in the outside. Yeah. They can practice there. Yeah. So the government would like to make that this is the formal condition, not like the people they have a capability, they open, but sometimes they don't have like a license and etc. I think that in Bali the government would like to make this is to increase the capability of the capacity of the health services, including the human resource, the equipment, the medicine, what is the parts that be increase the quality of services it start from Bali. It will be do. So, but this is the special economic zone. Why we ask to you that outside the special economic zone, we are in hospital in Bali. Maybe look open to make a collaboration with the expat. Yeah. Even though, for example, in Dharma Husada City, I have already make a collaboration with the modern cancer hospital in Guangzhou. So there is a people, they would like to go to Guangzhou or to have that. I would like to have second opinion from the doctor from Guangzhou. So we do the telemedicine program that even though the patient is here, so they will have a second opinion from the doctor from the Guangzhou. So this is once again, because to create the health tourism, trust is important. Yeah. And to build the trust is that we must have a good hospital or good clinics, and we have a good medical doctors too. Yeah.
And I think we were there together. There was a special preview of Bali of the Bali International Hospital, and I think one of the owners was talking about sea turtles. About so Indonesian doctors which have been working overseas, and turtles always return back to the shore from where they were, right? So they return, and I think that was, in addition to what you've said, I think that was also another vehicle to bring back highly skilled Indonesian doctors that have been traveling and working overseas, bringing them back to Indonesia as well, to Bali, to share their knowledge and their wisdom, which is, I think, an interesting one to do as well.
Yes, I think that now when we are in Bali, open to communicate with the other. So, for example, from the Netherlands, they have a diaspora doctor. So we have already started to communicate with them, and when they come to Bali, they will be share the experience, and we do like what we call that continuing medical education.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, and to make a collaboration for the operation. Yeah. So this is that the way we do to increase the capability of our doctors.
Great question. Thanks, Chris. So, other questions? Raise your hand, people. So over here, just we'll get the microphone to you. Now I know there's more questions here. People, don't be so shy, people. I before they're like, and now it's like crickets. Come on, you know who I'm talking to.
Hi, just one thing up on what was discussed earlier. How many years training do doctors do here as a student before they actually are medically trained and do their first year of residency?
Yes.
How many years?
Yes, for medical doctors, we need 6 years for this, and then after that, to continuing to specialist doctor, mostly around 4 until 5 years. Yeah. So this is that, and then after that, if they would like to be a consultant, maybe more 2 years for consultant doctor. Yeah, this is that.
Thank you, my dear. Other questions over here? Yes, and over there. I knew you had a question, by the way, brother. And it's coming back.
No, I just want to say, first of all, to the doctor, greetings from Pananda.
Okay. Thank you.
We have met before.
Yes.
I just want to comment. I've had open heart surgery in Sangla. And
so just to stop you there, number one, put the mic a bit closer. So you had open heart surgery at Sangla. Can you let people know what Sangla is? Because maybe they don't know where it is.
Sangla is in Renon, Denpasar, and it's a local hospital. I have been put into a surgery room which was definitely compatible with the Dutch surgery rooms. The quality was outstanding. I just wanted to mention this for people to understand that medical situation in Indonesia is rising so quickly and so fast. I will not bother you with all my medical issues, but I can definitely assure you that in Indonesia they do know what they are doing. Sometimes communication is a little bit of a trigger, but I speak Bahasa Indonesia fluently, so for me it's a bit more easy. But I'm sure once the doctors learn to communicate with their patients from overseas and have a good understanding between the two of them, that absolutely what is planning to be started, it's going to be great here in Bali. That's the only thing I wanted to say.
Thank you for sharing, brother. Any other questions over in that area before we return to our brother from Germany?
Yeah, if Bali wants to become a serious medical wellness hub, and real estate could be a solution or an answer for it, what could that solution be? What needs to change in real estate? Maybe regularities or something else. Wellness in real estate globally is a growing market. Could architecture or maybe real estate be a solution or what can be the solution?
So what we'll do is we'll break it down question by question, right? So maybe if you start with the first question that you asked, and then we'll let Dr. Patra respond. Yeah.
Okay. What needs to change in real estate for having a solution or towards a medical wellness orientated hub in Bali?
Cool. Great question.
Yes, I think that for the we look the health is not only the health facility, including the improvement, the facility, the house, and etc. must be give like a good condition to support the health. But we are in Bali. Why our government make the local regulation that in one space you cannot using all of the space. Must be there is a space for the improvement, because once again Trihita Karana is about the balancing relationship between the people with the God, people with the people with the improvement. So why we looked at when the pandemic, we can recover the Bali is faster than the other because we have a good space. The building is not so higher. And then I think that this is important for the architect to design the facility. The second, that must be thinking about the safety, because we know that we have the risk group in the healthy is children, elderly people. So you must be thinking about the safety, because for the Balinese architect, maybe medical wellness program. In this program, if the equipment still ongoing process to have the formal license, so minimal there is a journal that this equipment is already to try maybe how many people and etc. And there is a evaluation from the process that to give a good, to make a better condition for the patient like that. So this is from the Ministry of Health said that if still ongoing process, you use for the medical wellness program. But must be at least there is a journal to support for this system of facility like that. If already finished the formal, you come to the Department of Health to register your equipment like this. Yeah.
So let's say that all that process is already legal and has documentation, but it's just issued in another country.
Yeah.
But then you want to bring that device that is totally legal somewhere else, and there is no documentation whatsoever. So you don't even know what code, under what code, or under what. Yeah. So that's kind of like the case that I'm making my question about.
And look, obviously I this is another brother from a different mother. So I think with this one we'll take that question offline, because it's a very specific one, and I know that you've been working with Health Hub Bali to try and solve it and to try and work it out, but I think that one, in the context of this discussion, probably we'll take it offline and we'll have a chat about it afterwards. But Dr. Patra, I think you knew about it already, but at least now, and when you have a chat afterwards, I think it's, because again, as you said before, sometimes the regulations in any country, the regulations are behind what's actually needed now. And so there's some lobbying that kind of needs to happen for things to not improve, but things to adapt to that new scenario, which will also take the country forward. So I think that falls into that category there. So I'm sure after this we're going to have a chat and go a bit deeper. Thank you for the question. So now behind you, we've probably got about 2 or 3 more questions left, and then we're going to begin to wrap it up. You have a question? Yes, my brother. So come and grab the mic. Now, where's my big biohacking brother? Yes. All right. So earlier on, just before we get to that question, I won't mention any names, but he mentioned that he tried a biohacking procedure, and help me if I'm wrong here, and there was no outcome, right? It was like, thing doesn't work. Yet when you look online, it's like, it worked for me. What's a scam? What's true? What's not, right? Now, speaking over these years, and I'm going to bring Dr. Patra into this in a minute, is that medically informed retreats, which really is about how do you bring art and science. We're back to that. How do you bring hard science into a claim that someone is making that works, right? So this is where I'm going to hand over to Dr. Patra. So when we speak about, and Health Hub Bali is doing this now, but medically informed retreats, what comes up for you? Yeah.
Yes. Once again, sometimes we cannot give answer only the one aspect, because we look that there is some aspect that we are looking for this. Yeah. So why we would like that we work together. Yeah, maybe to create, because Bali once again as a tourism destination, there are many people from the outside come to Bali, and my problem is sometimes they ask that in my country like this and etc. like this. So why we start that we make a place to discuss, and maybe if in my opinion looking that this is the regulation, it's okay, the resources is enough, okay, we start for that. Yeah. So this is I think that my answer, because sometimes is specific between the the medical equipment and then etc. So I think that we would like to make that one by one to looking about the condition, about regulation and etc.
And then just before I go to your question, because Dr. Patra has been on the show a couple of times, that there was Tracy, the founder. I remember we spoke about this. People come to Bali, they do a retreat illegally, let's say, right? And they're claiming that there's all of these results they're going to get. You're going to feel like this, you're going to look like this in 10 days, right? Change your life in 10 days. May work, not a medical professional. But one way for you as a person to decide whether you want to engage in it or not is by asking them, is this a medically informed retreat? So is there someone, science, who is testing my baselines before I go into your retreat and during and afterwards, so I can actually see scientifically with hard facts whether this is working or having any impact on me whatsoever. And I think that was one of the things we spoke about before, about how people can maybe stop getting duped, stop getting, where they're saying this, and by asking that question, then I think that kind of tells you the level of professionality and quality that this retreat is actually saying that they're going to bring you. Yeah, so that could be something to consider. Yeah. So question over here, brother. Yes.
So thank you to Dr. Patra for the wonderful explanation of the special economic zone. From what I understood, the special economic zone is mostly catered towards people from abroad trying to break into Bali or into Indonesia. But in general, I'd like to understand what are the benefits that us as local operators can gain from having the special economic zone in Sanur and also in Kura-Kura. And second of all, I heard about the Balai POM that you mentioned earlier. I think it's really interesting because you mentioned prepared. So I'd like to understand more. What does prepared mean? And does that mean that for medication or also supplements that we are trying to source from abroad can also be administered by us as local operators?
Great. So let's break it down into two. So if you can repeat the first question again, and just the first question, and put the mic a little bit closer to your mouth.
Okay. So my first question is, in general, what are the benefits for us as local operators in setting up operations in the special economic zone? That's my first question.
First question. Cool. We'll hold there. Over to you. Yeah, we'll come back to the second question.
Yeah. For the specific benefits for the local operator in special economic zone, I think that in this area they have already to make like a master plan. There is a zone for the area, like there is a hospital, there is a clinic, there is will be a senior living or retirement places, and etc. like that. Yeah. It's depend on the program. Yeah. So there is a coordinator for the in special economic zone in Sanur. They call the name as the Sanur. The Sanur is like the coordinator in this area. So for example, 3 weeks ago I came to special economic zone to look at about the space for the retirement space. So they said that it's already, doctor, it's already, there is investor there. So they will be rent the land, they build the building, complete the equipment to operation, and I think that they will be have beside the rental the land. So maybe your revenue, your income will be, there is a sharing for the Sanur, like that. Yeah. Once again, until now we look that they bring the branded coming here, because in my experience for the healthcare business, I said that in the first of the 5 years we must be subsidized because there is no enough from the revenue with the what we must be paid for the operation, like that. So for the exactly, it's depend on the what is kind of the business that you would like to do. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Question 2, my brother.
Okay, so question 2 is, I heard about the preparation of the Balai POM, especially for foreign sourced medication. May I know what is the definition of preparation in this case? And also, does that mean that we could use those said medications that are still being prepared in Balai POM?
Yeah. Yes. We are in Bali. What we said that in special economic zone, we don't using the Bali POM. you can directly to prepare in special economic zone.
Okay.
This is a special regulation from the government. But from the outside of the special economic zone, the preparation you must be make like for example, to come and then to explain about the product and etc., and then to complete the document and etc., and then the Bali POM will be looking, and because Bali POM is under the Minister of Health, so they will be joined with the Directory of Pharmacies to looking that this is good product, it's already have a license and needed in Indonesia like that. Yeah. So I think that generally the concept like that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much. So last question or so, if there's one, I think Arjuna, you had one, was that right? So if we can pass the mic in that direction, would be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. And then after that, so just a quick, we'll have a photo together, and then you have time to network together. The people that you saw, that you heard, that you want to speak to, including Dr. Patra, you'll have that opportunity. So Arjuna, and I remember the last question you had in the last show. I was like, oh my God, why did I give him the mic? I'm joking.
I'll be quick, don't worry.
All right, come on, Arjuna, you got this.
All right, so I work a lot with land in north of Bali.
Canggu moment.
I work a lot with land in north of Bali, like in Bedugul, in Munduk and stuff like that. And I noticed that the place is still quite underdeveloped. Are there any plans from the government to place a focus on these areas that could be really beneficial for wellness tourism?
Yes, I think that what I said before, that we are not thinking about only in the one place or one zone, because Bali now, our governor would like to make a balancing between the South Bali with the other Bali. So like in Bedugul, Bedugul is now as a tourism destination, but it will be full in the end of the weeks, like on Saturday or Sunday and etc. We would like to create what is the program that we can use start from the Monday until the Friday. This is we call the weekday program, because in the weekend is already full, and the weekday program, I have discussed with the government. I looked at the medical wellness program. It will be one of the program will be do in the area that not fully in every day like that. So we are focused in we have once again the specific. There is a mountain, there is a village, there is a beach. It's not only focus for the one space. Yeah, I think that it will be that. Yeah.
Great question to finish. Thank you very much, everybody. So as we begin to wrap up, one thing which I'll give you some time, right, to say is, if there's anything else that you'd like to say that maybe you haven't had the opportunity to say yet, in about a minute or so, you'll have the opportunity to say that, and then after we'll close the show. Before we get there, give you some time to think. So just want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Obviously, Health Hub Bali is the first Monday of every month, and I've spoken already about sourcing the last 43 Health Hub Bali episodes on SpeakuP Monday YouTube. Just go to the library and you'll find it in playlists. We've spoken about, Health Hub's current project is Bali's first integrated health hospital, a joint venture with Dharma Usada Siddhi RS, and that hospital is in Denpasar in Renon, Denpasar, let's say, and it's a base camp for Bali Medical Tourism Association Network, headed by our brother Dr. Gede Patra, piloting here Indonesia's latest medical wellness program with the principles of every patient's right to be informed, the patient's right to choose, and the patient's right for a second opinion. And just keep in mind, Health Hub Bali, you can find it online, Facebook, Instagram, and there's Health Up Bali pit stops, vitality centers. Health seekers can learn about these medical or these journeys, these health journeys that we spoke about before. And obviously, I want to thank Tropical Nomad, Brother Guzman. Round of applause for our Brother Guzman. Thank you very much indeed. Tropical Nomad. Woohoo! Thank you. I keep forgetting about you guys. I keep hearing it in stereo. Thank you for you showing up in person, and it's very key because, again, you not only get to hang out and have a chat to Dr. Patra tonight, but also each other, and you would have heard enough to be, I want to speak to this person, I want to speak to that person, so please take that time to do it. Remember, if you're watching this, you don't need to book, you don't need to RSVP, you don't need a membership, just show up 6 o'clock every Monday here at Tropical Nomad for a Speak Up Monday session. And we have, come and speak to me. There's a group that you can join that gives you a bulletin so you know what's happening every week, or just find Speak Up Monday on Instagram. A very special thanks again to our brother, Dr. Gede Patra, Chairman of Bali Medical Tourism Association. And thank you so much for being here. Really enjoy our chats. I've learned so much from you over the years. So please, over to you. Anything you'd like to add to see us out?
Yeah, so once again, thank you very much for your invitation and give me a time for inform about the condition in Bali, special in health tourism program. And I myself think that to create or to continuing this program, it cannot be do by only we are the local people. We need your support, your suggestion, your information, and etc. Because once again, we are in Bali have a spirit, but we know that we don't have enough resources. So please, we are together, maybe through the LH Bali. We discussion about how to plan the health tourism program in Bali in the future. I think that's it.
Thank you. Round of applause, everybody. See you next week. Thank you very much. Woo!